Ralph Melgosa. I was lead artist on Street Fighter, the movie, The Game. The project came to IT with our history with Capcom Bowling. We had a history with fighting games. We had done Time Killers and Bloodstorm, and we had done some digitized games. We had done Rimrock and basketball and Hard Yards football, and that was kind of the trend. Mortal Kombat had come out. It was a digitized game, so it was a huge hit. I think Capcom was looking to kind of riff off of that, right? Street Fighter is a huge license, but they wanted to kind of tap into the whole digitized vibe. They had a movie that they were producing. They wanted us to film the actors in the movie to put into not only our game, but they were also producing a version for consoles for the PlayStation. There's supposed to be 2 film crews, but they ended up giving us their shot list, and we shot all of their moves as well. So we were working in tandem with the Japanese production team. It was, yeah, Capcom's idea to do that. Once again, Mortal Kombat was huge and was eating into, I think, their audience with Street Fighter, right? So they wanted to take a piece of that back. We were always the little guy taking on the big guys with these bigger companies. Well, I worked closely with Alan Noon. He was a huge Street Fighter player, so he planned out all the moves. He had actually scripted out kind of like a background storyline. He did some really phenomenal stuff. My job was basically as a lead, just kind of managing the assets. You know, we had to film all of these characters, all these actors, and then we had to go in and touch everything up. We had to clean up every frame of animation that we had. Our cameras were pretty primitive back then, so any type of movement would give us some sort of blur, right? And we even had the characters move really, really slow to prevent some of that. But still, some of it was unavoidable, especially if they're doing a kick or a spin kick or something like that, a backflip. You can't do that in slow motion. Yeah, we had to go in there and touch a lot of that up by hand. They were filming the movie in Australia, so we had to spend what was supposed to be 11 days in Australia for this shoot. To make a long story short, the actors found out that they were also going to be in this game and held out for more money. We had to stay on set, and we ended up filming a lot of their stunt doubles because we figured, well, if the actors aren't going to be in it, at least we can use their stunt doubles. So what was supposed to be 11 days turned out to be 3.5 weeks. So we had the blue screen studio, and we would wait for the actors, and if we had downtime, we would just watch the movie being filmed because we really couldn't leave the set. So that was a lot of fun to watch that. Typically, we had about, I'd say, 8 to 11 hours per actor. So it took us all day to film these moves. We did get to meet and work with Kylie Minogue, and she was actually great. There was one night, a few of the actors actually took us out to a nightclub. So we actually got to hang out and have drinks with Kylie Minogue. She was really, really nice. She was great to work with, yeah. So Raul Julia, he did this movie kind of because his kids were into it, and that's why he did it. The movie was written by Steven D'Souza, who actually he wrote it and directed it. So he was the writer of one of the Die Hard movies. I'm not sure if it was the first one or second one, but this was his opportunity to direct. So I think this is the first and perhaps the last movie he directed. No, we saw the movie when it was released. It was interesting because we were sent a script before we went over to shoot the game, and it was totally different than what the movie actually was. So they had changed, the original script had Ryu and Ken as the main characters, like they were kind of like scoundrels, partners in crime, and the movie centered around them. But I think since they signed on Van Damme, they wanted him to be more of a hero with guile, and they brought in this whole United Forces, good versus evil versus the Shadowloo forces, right? And so they changed that storyline. We actually thought it was a lot more interesting had they gone with the original idea. We knew that we had to bring some of these moves to life, right? Because some of it has fantasy elements with fireballs and some of these energy, kicks and whatnot. Alan tried really to stay true to all the moves in the original game, and actually had storyboarded a few more, but the guys at Capcom were very strict on what moves were put into the game, what the effects looked like. They had a heavy hand on overseeing that part of it. Yeah, a lot of the unique mechanics came from Alan Noon. He was just such a huge, passionate fighting game player, and he poured everything into that. I mean, he was really, really into it. He storyboarded every move. That's Alan. And he's still like that today. So seeing the final product, you know, actually in an actual location, and seeing kids going up there and putting money into it and playing it, that's always one of the most exciting parts of what we do here. We put a lot of hard work into that. We had a lot going on here at IT. Golden Tee 2 was in development at that same time, but it was really, really exciting. So my favorite thing of working on Street Fighter, the movie, the game, was just the collaboration with all the creative types, everyone that worked on it. We worked really hard. Working on the movie set, meeting the actors, all that was pretty exciting. To have that kind of experience was incredible. There were a lot of things that we didn't like. I mean, just the direction of some of the game. The story was goofy. I feel we did the best we could with what we had to work with, right? A lot of hard work went into that game with a very small team, you know, and very passionate people. Jane Segrist worked on it as well. Yeah, it's the game that keeps coming back in my history. Out of all, I've been here for almost 35 years now, and it's the game that people still ask and inquire about. 2 years ago, there was a group of guys that were running just on an emulator, Street Fighter, the movie, the game tournament, and they were doing it for charity. So I gave them my marquee from the game, used that as one of the top prizes. It just has this life that keeps going on. It's part of the Street Fighter legacy, I guess, good or bad. It's a part of it. Richard Ditton and Elaine Hodgson, co-founders of IT, they were there with us in the trenches, and that's one thing that I appreciate. They had our backs, and they worked just as hard, if not harder, than anybody else on that team to make this game happen. You know, they were there with us every day. They drove us to the set. They were there. They waited with us. When we had to deal with all of the actors, they were right there with us. That's a big part of their leadership in this company. We didn't. We took pictures because we had to pose on, we had to build special boxes to do the flying kicks and whatnot, and just to do test shots. We had Elaine or Richard to get on the boxes. So there's some pictures there of them doing that. They were there every day with us, except for one day. Richard didn't show up, and I was kind of mad because I'm like, wow, he gets a break and we don't. And he showed up later on with a birthday cake and gifts. It was my 30th birthday on the set. So I'll always remember that about Richard. As mad as I was at him at the time, I just thought, okay, I'm the one who's an ass here. But that was pretty cool. This is actually like a prop this is one of Bison's buckles from his cape. So the special effects guys made us kind of a little token going away present for us. So I still have that on my desk.